everybody, and welcome to episode 25 of the Thunder Gals, our final episode of the regular season, which ends on Sunday. There are two game days left. All 30 teams are in action tonight, and then all 30 teams are in action again on Sunday for the final two games of the season. The East is still really up in the air as to playoff seeding. The
I saw
West,
that yesterday. It was like the difference between fifth and 10th is like a game.
yeah, it's all getting decided for like the fifth through 10th in the East is decided today and Sunday. So lots to
Yeah.
watch for there. Only a little bit to
Mhm.
watch for in the West. Paula, how you doing this week?
Well, I mean, we went around the moon this week and my team locked in the first seed for the third year in a row. And I don't know if you listened to I mean, I know you did, but if you listened to my post-game wrap that night, my volume got consistently higher, more excited because I was over the moon. That was what I wanted,
Woo!
and I was just so happy for the team.
Yeah, what a feat. The 3 years in a row being number one in the West. Um,
Yes.
Now remember 3 years ago when we got that one seed, it was wild because it was like a three-way tie for first, basically going in like to the last game of the season.
Yeah.
And we had to sneak out the first seed at the very end. Like we weren't in first most of that end
Mhm.
of the season. We got there at the very end by playing really great at the end of that season. And it was the Timberwolves and the Nuggets were the other two teams competing for that one
Mhm.
seed that year. And they're both division opponents as well. So that was like deciding the division, deciding the one seed in the conference.
Yeah.
Then last year I think we had it wrapped up like 2 weeks early last year. It was like,
Yeah, we didn't have there wasn't as much anticipation or trepidation, I should say, as there is this year being chased so much by the Spurs.
yeah,
You know, I mean, we
yeah,
knew that it was going to be, we knew three games was going to be hard to overcome, but anything can happen. So,
yeah. Well, really, the Spurs and the Thunder, this last stretch of the season, this last 25 games or so, both teams have really been showing out and doing all they can to show that they're the best. And they made it a real race, even after our 24-1 start.
mhm.
They ended up with like they're like 24-2 in their last 26 games. So, you know,
I am super happy we had that cushion. I mean, there's no way around it. Now, we are 19-1 in our last 20, and I'm happy with that, and but it is the surging has just been crazy to watch. And I mean, it literally was, I feel like, I mean, nothing against the Nugs, the Lakers, they were coming up until they got injured, unfortunately. And so now they're going to lock the three, but it's been between us and the Spurs for that one spot, been watched very closely.
yeah, and then the Nuggets and Lakers have had really great stretches battling for that three seed. So,
Mhm.
up until that Thunder game a week or week and a half or so ago, the Lakers were
Yeah.
on one too, and then their season fell all apart in one night.
Yeah.
Just I I feel a little bad for Lakers fans on that. The
I
Lakers
do.
are
I
kind of
do.
my most hated team. I've never really rooted for the Lakers in my life, but um, their fans still were excited and everything was going well, and then to just in one game have it just all fall apart must just be a really terrible feeling.
Seriously, because I mean, they were so excited. They were like, "We got number three. Like, look at us. This is it." And now everybody's like, "Well, the Nugs have got three locked now." And again,
They don't have it fully locked.
I know. I know,
But
but
yeah.
and I'm not going to complain and I'm hoping that we don't help them move anywhere.
No, and well, it's just wild. They went from looking like they almost had the three wrapped up to now they're gonna be, just happy to hold on to fifth.
Yeah, I
Um,
know. But the Nugs are taking advantage of the situation and the game tonight that we play against them, you know, is meaningless to us. In impact to our standing. It's not meaningless with regards to record or abilities or anything to our guys. It's just standing, we're locked in. So we now have a very heavy resting bench tonight.
yes. Well,
What did you
when
say? We got nine sitting?
we've got nine sitting and eight playing. So
Okay.
I actually did my pregame preview where I first named who was playing
Hmm.
because that was easier than saying who was out. And then I just
Seriously.
quickly rattled through everyone who was out.
Well, it's like what I said last night when I saw Rylan Stiles bring out the injury report last night. I was like, Nikki T is dropping a 40 piece tonight.
Man, that
You
would
know
be
me, I'm
awesome.
going to be everything for Nikki T to shine. J
Nikki
Mac, he's going
T
to have the
and J
most.
Mac. J Mac, who was interacting with us this week on Threads,
He
our first
was.
Thunder player to start interacting with the fans on Threads. Um,
Yes.
so that's
Exciting, and it
cool.
was and it was very cool, but you see him being more engaged, and he is just going to get it. And the Sixers got their bad news, more bad news, with Embiid's appendicitis yesterday and having to have surgery. And so
I
tonight,
feel so
J-Mac is
bad
going to
for
have,
Joel
I do,
Embiid.
I do, I
How
do.
does that happen? Like he's just finally going into a playoffs where he's going to be healthy. The Sixers might be able to make a little noise in the East. And then this. Just
But maybe because they caught it
wow.
before it burst, he'll have the ability to, I don't know, surgery still makes things iffy. But
That's just tough, man.
so it's going to be hard for Sixers fans to see Jared get so much time tonight because they're already irritated he's here. Bless their hearts, but
Uh,
we'll treat him well. We promise you. We promise you.
well, let's do a little weekend review. So, since our last episode, we played the Jazz on Sunday.
Hmm.
Guys went out, took care of business. They kind of farted around maybe the first quarter and a half and didn't quite take it seriously enough. Then they got in gear, 146 to 111, 146 points from the Thunder that night. Every
Season
shot was
high.
falling.
Season
Um,
high.
and that really set the tone for the week.
It did. It did.
They started just the shots started falling for everybody. Lou is out of his slump. And
Isaiah
just
Joe.
Isaiah Joe. Wow, he's like looking like Steph Curry out there shooting threes from 5 feet behind the 3 point line and stuff. Like
He's got six threes in a game. What, in the same week? Like, I don't know. I was mad. I said the other night, I was like, Adam, where is his invitation to the 3 point contest?
he should
Like,
have been
how is
in
he
it this
overlooked?
year. He should have
Absolutely.
been. He's because
Especially coming from the Thunder.
I can understand why maybe a couple years ago when it was still early and he was having his first 40% 3 point shooting season, like, well, maybe it's a fluke. We'll see. He's now been doing it for years. Like, he is consistently among the best 3 point shooters in the league. It's clear he's among the best.
Hmm.
This needs to be rectified next year. We're
I
watching
hope it will
Adam.
be. I know. It's like, excuse me. Hello, he's right here. So, yeah, but he's going to be such an asset in the playoffs.
Now, of note in that Jazz game, J Dub's brother Cody
Mhm.
got to start for the Jazz in that game. So he started a game against his brother. They had some
Mhm.
good moments going up against each other. J-Dub clearly got the best of Cody on a couple of shots.
Yes. And you knew
Um,
he would. You knew he was going to go for that.
they both wore the same shoes. Like
Hmm.
Cody wore J-Dub's shoes, so they had their matching shoes out there. And it
It
was
was
Easter
cute.
weekend, so it
Mhm.
was probably fun for the family. I'm sure they got together in Oklahoma City and got to have some Easter family time together, so that's neat. Um,
I
but
saw a
Cody
picture. Go
Cody
ahead.
decided he thought he could dunk on Chet Holmgren, and he learned real quick, you don't do that.
It's good to have confidence and to try, but it's not always going to work out in your favor.
Oh, goodness.
It- but it was good that he's out there and he's trying, and I think Cody has really improved a lot. I know the Jazz has had a poor year, but it's been good to see him out there and get the reps that he's getting, and that was one of the things talking about relatives this week. Um, that J-Dub is talking about how much he supports Cody and that how much they talk. Like they talk all the time. And he's always encouraging him and always giving tips and pointers and things like that. And I think that connection is great. And then Shay yesterday was asked about his cousin, Nikhil, and talking about whether or not he should be most improved player this year. And Shay's out there talking about, yeah, he absolutely should because now he's had the opportunity to play for extended periods and to be able, to show out a little bit more rather than being further in the and not get into rhythms or anything like that. And to me, to see the support from, J Dub and Shay to their relatives and the encouragement and everything. I love to see it. I think it's just a great indicator of how involved they are.
Oh, absolutely. And, Nikhil Alexander Walker, you know, at the beginning of the season, before the season even started, back during free agency, because he had been playing for the Timberwolves, and
Hmm.
my husband is a Wolves fan, I was actually lamenting when the Wolves let him go. I was like, man, I think the Wolves are really going to regret letting go of Nikhil. Like, I felt like he could be a really good backcourt partner for Ant. And because Ant is really more of a shooting guard, he's not necessarily he doesn't play like Shea. He's not the guy you want taking the ball up the floor and setting up the entire offense all the time. You want
Yeah.
him moving off the ball, getting the ball to him as he's making his drives to the basket or getting open from three. And I really thought Nikhil could maybe play that role for him and be really good. And instead he got the opportunity in Atlanta, who was willing to pay him more money than the Wolves could afford. And he went and took advantage of that opportunity this year. And it is rare in the NBA for because Nikhil came in the same time Shea did. They came in the same
Hmm.
year.
Yep.
It is rare for a player who's been in the league 6 years like that to make a massive leap from like year six to year seven in that kind of way. But that speaks to what Shea was saying. Like, no other team had given him the role he needed to truly be able to blossom.
Yeah, because Shay said, our situations are completely different. He says, I was drafted, then I was traded, and then I was given the keys to the team. Like it's your team, go, and he was open to everything. And his cousin just didn't have the same opportunities. So you could tell how proud he was when he was talking about him.
And
He
he
really
should
was.
be. He
Yeah.
he should be. And great job, Nikhil, down in Atlanta. They're going into the playoffs this year. Maybe they'll make some noise too. That's fun for that family.
Yeah, that'll shore that up. And then next year, they got Oklahoma's own Trey Young coming back.
No, Trey's in
So,
DC now.
oh well, my bad. Excuse
Yeah.
me. I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew that
That trade
because that
dead
was part of,
It was the trade
yes,
deadline deal that happened. Like he's been out, so it's hard to remember because he's
it
only
is because he
played like
hasn't
one
played for the
game for
Wizards.
DC, one or two.
Yeah.
Like
So
so
it doesn't really stand
don't
out.
feel bad. Like that's easy to forget.
Well, I just knew that with Trey being out, I think I forgot where he was and where he's going to have the opportunity next year.
No, that
So
that actually
injuries are
opens it
just,
up even further for Nikhil because now he doesn't have to compete with Trey Young for playing time next year
yeah.
when Trey's back healthy. So
It'll
um
be interesting to see how they continue to rise next year.
yeah. And speaking of rising, Chet Holmgren, what a week.
Oh my gosh.
He's just playing the best basketball of his career right now.
Listen, I cannot believe his 30-point game the other night. I don't even know that he can believe his 30-point game from the other night. Like, and still getting steals and assists and what, 14 rebounds and, two steals and four blocks. And you're on both ends of the court. You're not just one or the other.
He was showing why he was the number two pick,
Hmm.
showing that he truly is superstar potential. And I think he probably sealed that he will be on an all NBA team this year, either second or
I
third
think so
team.
too. I think so too. At least I think second. I don't think that they'll, I mean, back to back, you know, back to back first seeds on the team, strong team, and making a huge contribution, I think is going to be taken into consideration. And I saw an interesting thing, a discussion the other day, and it was talking about if Wimby wasn't a factor. Now, I don't think that Wimby and Chet are a one for one comparison. I don't
No.
necessarily think that. But the conversations around Chet would be different if Wimby was not a factor.
Yeah, if he
Because
didn't
you have your
exist,
7-2 and yeah,
y-
then like the conversations about how extraordinary Chet are. Yes, I'm biased. He's extraordinary. Get over it. Um,
he
but
is.
but I just think the conversations would be different.
Oh, they absolutely would. If this league didn't have Wimby, people would be going nuts for like Chet's 7-1, 7-2, doing all this and like shooting well, like because he's not just like taking it to the rim, he's knocking down his threes. He's
Yes.
he's pulling off these like mid-range KD fadeaways. Like he's
Yeah.
he's truly doing it all. He's honestly, the thing that's holding Wimby back from being MVP, why he's not number one in either the player poll or the voter straw poll is while he is otherworldly on defense, he's got a ways to go still on offense. Like his offense isn't bad. I wouldn't call it bad offensively. He's good, but Chet's like hitting that like next level extraordinary of offense where he was seven of eight shooting in the first half the other night on those 24 points. Like
Mhm.
he's doing it with KD SGA level efficiency,
Yeah.
and Wimby's not doing that. Wimby shoots like 30% from three and like he has some moments in the mid range where it's kind of not clear what he wants to do. And it's clear he just needs another year or two of
Mhm.
experience to
Oh,
build
yeah.
better offensive habits. He will get there.
Absolutely.
But I think people really underestimate just how excellent Chet's offensive skills have become. And now the confidence is there. You saw it on display this week. And I just flowers for Chet this week.
I mean, they are ramping up with their health and their experience and everything at the right time. They are rolling right into it. And I have to give Coach Mark so many flowers because, what is it, 30 plus lineup changes that he's had this year because of all of the injuries? Like,
Yeah.
and we're still The number we are number two in what is it? Player minutes missed due to injury,
Yeah.
and we are still the number one seed in the West with
And
all
in
of
the
that
league.
in the league. But I mean, it's astounding. And people talk about, well, how many rotation changes? He has to. He has to be creative. And all that's going to do, and I know we've said it all season long, it's going to make the bench players assets in the playoffs because they have that experience.
Yeah,
And
and
I'll
it
get off my
particularly
hobby.
helps that he's fostered a team mentality among those guys. Like Jay Will knows there's probably going to be some games in the playoffs where maybe he doesn't play a ton of minutes,
Hmm.
but then he'll still be ready to step up when his number's called and when it is time to step up.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be pouting, well, I didn't get to play the last game. You don't see any of that, animosity among the bench players, or you don't see guys sitting there, sulking or not really being involved. The whole bench is always celebrating the whole team.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
it's a very much we're all in this together. I'll step up when I need to, you step up when you need to, and let's not fight over it.
No, Kenrich was in a interview this week, I think with Nick Gallo, and he was talking about just being ready. Like he understands where his place is. Not in a negative way, but to be ready, to be prepared, to bring that spark. And he's ready all the time. Whether he gets called in the first quarter or he doesn't get called in, he's ready when Mark needs him. And he was saying that's pretty much everyone is prepared and they're prepared for where they are. They're not living in where they were with the last game. They're not anticipating the next game. They're locked in to where they are today.
Yeah.
And I think that just makes such a difference because, you're not going to have the long-term pouting that, oh, I didn't get minutes today, or oh,
Well, and
so.
because he tinkers with lineups, guys can know if they don't get minutes one game, it doesn't mean they're not going to get minutes the next, because Mark's not one of those coaches who's locked into like, these are the 8 or 9 guys I always play.
Mm-mm.
Some teams do it that way, and I think that probably helps lead to some of that sulking that you see, because if you know you're not part of that 8 or 9 guys, it is probably harder to get up for every game because it starts to become monotonous and like, well, looks like I'm just never gonna get to play.
Yeah. Well, and
So,
our guys get each other involved. I know we've talked about Shea, getting people, instead of him taking a shot, he sees a better opportunity and he'll swing the ball. I mean, and they're willing to do this for all of the players and not just, ISO out. It's the greater good.
Speaking of Shea passing the ball, multiple 10 assist games in the last couple weeks.
Listen.
His passing and playmaking has gone up a notch from where he was even in just the playoffs last year.
Hmm.
He is a
It has
much more
been,
willing passer.
look, the bottom line is, even with all of the injuries and everything they went through this year, they are a better team than last year. There's no way
Yeah.
around it.
Yeah, the record won't reflect it.
Mm-mm.
We're not going to have as good a record as we had last year, but doesn't matter. The experience that this team now has, Chet's better than he was at the end of last year.
Mm-hmm.
SGA's better than he was at the end of last year. We've got a healthy AJ Mitchell that's better than he was. A
Mm-hmm.
healthy Cason Wallace that's better than he was.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are
Lou Dort's
all
offense is
better.
better than it was.
Lou
Yes.
Dort
I mean,
got
and you
off
can
the
go down the
schneid.
list.
He's finally shooting well again.
But I mean, you can see the individual experience that has continued. iHeart has gotten better. I mean, and he already a strong piece, but he has gotten better with the way that he connects with the other players. He's made that a priority. How can I support you? How can we make sure while working on his own game? So,
Isaiah Joe's better than he
oh
was
my
last
gosh.
year.
Yeah. His 3 point, surprisingly, you
He's
wouldn't think, but yes.
he's shooting better and he plays better defense than he
Hmm.
did a year ago. There were line times last year in the playoffs we couldn't play him enough because his defense wasn't quite there, and now it's
Yeah.
there. Um, we truly are blessed as
Oh,
OKC
completely.
Thunder fans right now, and we have a team that is doing historic things.
And I take none of it for granted because they were, comparing us to historical teams. And, the Warriors and their stretch of series, their 3 seasons in a row, the Bulls with theirs, and they're talking about the Thunder in the same breath. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, it's amazing.
Yeah, we are blessed. We're very lucky to have such a great team to root for. So glad they're finally getting healthy at the end of this season. J-Dub looks like he's definitely coming back into his own. His confidence is
Mhm.
high again. His shooting looks better. His burst to the rim. He's outrunning teams just all the way to like 4-on-1 by himself.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. We're playing silly basketball. The Oklahoma City Globetrotters the other night, Lou Dort on the floor, passes to iHeart, and no look over his shoulder to a cutting J-Dub to a layup. What in the world? That was so
um,
silly. And I laughed.
amazing.
I was just cackling because I was like, did we really just see that?
Do do
And
do 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 do
I know.
do do boop boop doo.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I don't know. But on the next breath, I was like, why not?
Well, in the Clippers the other night, they had something to play for. They're trying to
Yeah.
stay out of the 9-10 because
Hmm.
in the 7-8 matchup, you can win one game and be in the playoffs. But if you have to play the
Yeah.
9-10 play-in game, you have to win two to get to the playoffs. So
Yeah.
they were playing for their play-in lives. They had something to play for. They had a mostly healthy team. Kawhi's been playing really great basketball for them, and they kept it kind of close in the third quarter. Like they made a little run, cut it down to like 14 going into the fourth. And as they cut that lead down, I was not sure that Shea would be sitting the fourth quarter. But then Chet, J-Dub, and Isaiah Joe took over to start that fourth quarter, spread that lead out again, and before you knew it, like we were just cruising again. And
Shay's on the bench, like, I guess I'm not needed
all
again
right,
for the
thanks, Chet.
25th time. 25th time this season. I mean, think about it. Out of 82 games,
Yeah.
you're at 38, 39% of fourth quarters you're not playing, and you still lead in clutch time points. The numbers are so bizarre and I love them. I love every one of them. It just shows that this team is just really special.
Well, and something, Steve Nash and LeBron James on the Mind the Game podcast
Yeah.
were talking about how good Shea is the other day. And they pointed out again, like, he's shooting with this efficiency, like center-like efficiency from the mid-range on contested jumpers when he's being double teamed. Like,
Mhm. Right? Like that's not supposed to be possible or as easy as he makes it seem.
like he is doing this when like every defense he plays against, like their defensive memo before the game is stop Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Like that's all the coach has to write on the whiteboard. Stop Shay. Like and then however they can, and usually they can't.
It's their
So,
whole game plan. And he's still shooting one of the most efficient seasons we've seen by a guard in league history.
but
And,
that's leaving everybody else open to be assisted by Shay, which is why his assist numbers are jumping.
and yeah, and now he's finding those passes even better. He had a couple lazy passes against the Clippers early in that game the other night, but once he locks in, it's just lights out.
Flip that switch.
Goodness.
I
So
don't know. It's been fun to watch this week. It's been a little tense. Last night was, I mean, the Wednesday night was the best to lock in the first seed. Like
yeah,
that took a little bit of pressure off. Not that, I mean, pressure for me, but whatever. I got to build my cardio for the playoffs
that
anyway.
was our closest game of the week, and we won by 18.
I mean, it could have been more had they locked in earlier.
Oh, this is a fun little stat. So we played the Lakers in 2 out of 3 games, and that was also 2 out of 3 games for them that they played us.
Hmm.
In those 3 games, their average point differential dropped from plus 1.9 to plus zero point 0.9 because we beat them so bad in those 2 games. We dropped their season average point differential by an entire point.
Dang. That's probably not good.
So
And the sad
we
thing
really
is,
had the Lakers number this year.
the thing is that that was supposed to be a marquee game. That first one was supposed to be the marquee game, and it wasn't. And it's a shame because then by the time Tuesday rolled around and their second game, like nobody had, I mean, it's terrible to say, nobody had expectations of the game.
No,
They were like,
that went from
especially,
being a game we were looking forward to like, well, all
well,
right.
I mean, once LeBron went from questionable to out, it was like, okay, well, that just puts us one step closer.
He woke up that morning on Tuesday. He's like, Thunder without Luca or Austin Reeves. You know what? My foot hurts. I'm done.
Oh,
How about I
oh,
just don't play this one?
yeah. Calling up Rob, going, Rob, I'm not feeling it today.
And you know what? It was the right call because the Lakers had a healthy LeBron last night against the Warriors and went
Hmm.
actually got a win on the road. So, LeBron made the right call, saved his energy.
And that's what our guys are doing tonight,
Yeah,
saving their energy.
so that'll be fun. I'm still gonna watch. Uh,
Oh, I'm gonna watch.
I'm
There, I
still
wouldn't
not
not
sure what
watch.
the Nuggets are gonna do. As I mentioned in my pregame preview, they're playing a little coy. They just listed everybody as questionable. So
Hmm.
they'll make an update later this afternoon, maybe an hour or so before game time with the final decisions on those guys. But yeah, I think
Have to
Jokic needs
see.
to play. I think he maybe needs one more game to meet his 65 game rule. So he'll
Well,
either,
I mean, there's always Spurs on
he'll play
Sunday.
either tonight or against the Spurs,
He'll play against the Spurs, I bet.
but I don't
Well,
think I
I don't
don't think
know.
he can
I don't
afford to
know.
sit out both.
No, I don't think so either.
The
And you
one
never
hint I
know.
got, I do follow the Nuggets on Threads, and
Yeah.
they posted a picture of game night tonight with 4 players wearing the jerseys they'll be wearing tonight.
Hmm.
Cam Johnson was one of the players they showed, who's one of the
Oh.
guys that's listed as questionable,
Uh-huh.
but the picture did not have Jokic, Aaron Gordon, or Jamal Murray in the picture. So it might have been
I think
they might
there's
have
going
been
to be,
hinting to us that maybe the big three for them won't be playing, but
I think that they'll play at least one or two of them because
we'll
then they'll have
find
to
out.
balance it out for Sunday. Yeah, we'll find out. I mean, I'm going to be there. I'm not going to be there. There's no way because I mean, I've only got two more games this season. I mean, I'm shocked because it was just yesterday when it was October.
I
It
know
was
we were
just
starting this out right at the beginning of this season. We kind of got together right as the season was started to get this rolling.
literally
And
like 2 days before the season started.
And here we
And it's worked
are.
out. Look at it. Episode 25.
This will
And
be our
over,
150th video uploaded to YouTube.
look at that. Look at that.
So,
See, and back in September, didn't even occur to me. Now I'm all like, I got things I got to say, and I want to share it with people and share it with you and spend this hour each week just laughing and loving our team.
we had a good season. We had some rough patches.
January.
It was hard not to. With so many injuries, it was just, to think that we kept winning as much as we did through all those
Mhm.
injuries. It's a testament to the team, it's a testament to Mark's coaching and just the entire culture they've built in that building, and we get to be lucky enough to sit and watch and talk about it.
Absolutely. And the playoffs are going to, the play-in is next week, and we'll talk about that next week because that'll kind of, I don't know, it'll clear up a little bit of who we will potentially play in the eighth seed.
Yeah, let me double check. I'm
Because we
look
think it's Friday night,
I
right? That
gotta
the
look to see when the yeah,
Because I know
so
they start
so
Tuesday.
Friday night on Amazon Prime will be the final play-in games for the East and the West to determine the number 8 seed. So when
Okay.
we come back for next week's episode, we will know which two teams are playing that night to be the 8th seed, but we
Hmm.
still won't know the Thunder's opponent. And the Thunder will be starting the playoffs a week from Sunday against whoever wins that 8 seed game on Friday night.
After a week's rest.
Yes, and well, probably a week and a half rest for most of our guys.
I'm just saying, sore toes can maybe feel better on Sunday. You never know.
I highly doubt we're gonna play any of our main guys on Sunday, especially because it's Phoenix. If Phoenix is playing Dylan Brooks and some of their tougher defenders,
Mm-mm.
you don't want to risk anybody getting hurt in what will be a really physical game. I saw the Suns and Thunder play in person back in November in
Hmm.
one of the NBA Cup games, and that was physical. Like
Yeah.
they were really battling it out. And Colin Gillespie, you know, Devin Booker's no slouch either.
Yeah.
Like that they'll come play with some energy, and I don't think you want to risk anybody. So I'm
Well, our bench
guessing,
players can have more opportunity to play physical.
yeah,
Give them a good opportunity.
absolutely.
Not that Denver's not going to play physical tonight, but not Dylan Brooks physical, probably.
Yeah, no, especially if they're not playing any of their main guys either.
But we'll find
So
that out later.
I guess we will. But yeah, we'll come back next week. We'll have a little more clarity on the playoffs. It does, if Denver gets the win tonight, I think it clinches the 3 seed for them. It definitely will if they get the win and the Lakers lose, because they currently have a 1 game lead on the Lakers. If they get to a 2 game lead with 1 game left, then obviously
Hmm.
that takes care of it. That will give us clarity on who our potential second round matchup might be. And it's looking
Yeah.
very much like it could be we're going to be like playing the winner of a Lakers Rockets first round series.
Oh, goodness.
So,
I don't
what
have
what
any issue
what
that,
matchup does that leave for the other potential second round matchup?
well, that would be Denver and the Spurs? Hmm. Wait,
I
so are you saying that both of them, if they play each other in the second round, both of them cannot move on?
Then we only have to play one of the two of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
So,
mean, Listen, somebody may say, "Oh, you're just trying to run away from." No, I'm being strategic. Why play both when I
If
can
you
play
have to
one?
beat both, you're going to get beat up. Now you might have trouble against the Celtics or the Pistons or whoever comes out of the East, come finals time. So it's not that I don't think we can beat them. It's why would you want to have to beat both of them?
Right. That's why it was so important last night to clutch that one. I just,
Now the Nuggets, though, it's not necessarily easy for them. It depends on Ant's health a little bit, but the Minnesota Timberwolves are likely to be the first round opponent for the Nuggets, and the Wolves have kind of had the Nuggets number in the playoffs the last couple
that's true.
years.
That is true.
So,
I don't dismiss it.
so that's not going to be necessarily a cakewalk. And if there's anybody who can hold Jokic down on the offensive end and actually play some really good defense on him, it's Rudy Gobert. I hate Rudy Gobert, but I mean, he's still 7'3" and built like a brick wall and can actually really keep Jokic from doing what he wants to do in the paint. So
Maybe Jokic will I mean, maybe Gobert will get sick.
for those of you who only listen to the audio podcast, you should have seen Paula's hard eye roll when I brought up Rudy Gobert.
Listen, Rudy Gobert, bless his heart, and Omar wrote a great article about it, but he won't be redeemed in my eyes. Bless his heart, he just won't. And
I
that's
can tell you that Minnesota fans kind of hate him. Like like they hate that they have to root for him.
Yeah, I get it. I do get it. So, and I
Especially
can
when he
say
gets to the free throw line, then it's just like, oh my God.
I will say that if we do play the Rockets in the first series, I won't hate if we win that series.
No.
Mm-mm.
I hey, a Rockets Thunder second round series could be a lot of fun. It could definitely be a fun way to move on if we can pull that off.
I just I
But
promise
we're knocking on wood. We're not counting any chickens before they've hatched.
we are merely discussing potential playoff matchups
That is
of
all.
what would be interesting. We're
That's
not
right.
putting anything out there. Well, we kind of are, but
That's all
I
we're
am.
doing. So
But I love it and it'll be fun. And I can't believe that the last game of the regular season on Sunday. I simply can't. It's just flown by.
it sure has. Well, y'all, it's also flown by this episode. It has been
Absolutely.
another fun hour of our week with you all. We hope you are enjoying our fun little inclusive Thunder community. And if you want, make sure you subscribe on YouTube.
Push that button.
Make sure you've subscribed on whatever podcast app you're listening on. Rate us, give us those 5-star ratings, hype us, like us, share our threads content, come interact with us on threads. And you might even get to interact with Jared McCain on threads now. So, another reason to come join us there in the NBA threads community. And tell your friends. If you got some, especially if you got some gals or in your life who are Thunder fans, but don't feel like they have any good stuff to listen to, let them know about the Thunder Gals. Spread the word because we're gonna have some fun in the playoffs.
Yep.
We've been talking about some stuff behind the scenes. We might try some new things on some of these playoff episodes. So come join us. Anything else you want to say before we get out of here, Paula?
Thunder up.
Thunder up, baby. All right, y'all. It's been a good one. Peace, and we will see y'all next week.
Bye, guys.